All right, what's going on, everybody? It is your host, Dr. Splash. And this debunk is happening because you guys destroyed the like goal in the first one. I asked for 500 likes to make Sentry vs. Superman because I thought it'd take forever for you guys to hit. You guys did it right away, literally first day. One of the biggest like goals we've hit ever. So this is how it's going to work. Sentry vs. Superman is in production. I'm doing a full Sentry scale first. I also publicly put his scaling in my server, so check out my Discord. And if you want to see Danko get debunked, like you specifically want one of his videos debunked, it's only $20 on his head, okay? $20 to debunk Danko. Massive deal specifically for Danko debunks. No sportsmanship. And again, if you want to see a debunk to continue, 500 likes once more, and I will continue to debunk his content. But with that out the way, we're going to cover his Hulk versus Sentry. If you're compositing both in the 616, Hulk dog walks. Absolutely dog walks. So we'll see what he says. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin.
The Hulk versus Sentry. These two have a long and storied past of each other, and they fought each other plenty of times because of that. But put aside everything else and just focusing on their strengths and weaknesses, powers and abilities, well, who really should be winning each time these two square off? What are they? That's what we're going to find out. Now, both the Hulk and the Sentry have had more different versions than maybe any other hero out there. So we're just doing what.
Saying that for Sentry's crazy. He's been around since 2000. He's got like what, 2 or 3 versions of himself? Like, dude, Danko deadass does not read comics. That shit's crazy.
You would call a composite version of both.
Okay, so he's comping both Hulk. Oh my god, Hulk folds. Oh my god, Fractured Sun? Guys, the things Fractured Sun would do to Sentry would get Fractured Sun banned from comics, okay? Because it wouldn't pass the parental guide. I'm about to text this shit to my boy Philip Kennedy Johnson. I'm going to say, look how they massacred your son. Look at this. Putting him against a bum like Sentry. Are you kidding me?
Heroes, but keeping it within.
Oh my god. Bro. Okay, I doubt he read this story, but if he's really using this era of Hulk, like modern day with Fractured Sun, Starship, all those, oh, GG.
616. No alternate Elseworld versions, but versions like Worldbreaker Hulk and Death Seed Sentry can still count.
Easy sweep for Hulk. Like it, like that ass. If if Danko says Sentry wins, arrest that man. Right?
Starting out looking at strength, well, I don't think there's much of an argument here. Hulk is the strongest one there is. That's his whole thing. And
What a sound argument. His motto makes him the strongest.
that does include being stronger than Sentry. And that doesn't mean that Sentry isn't crazy strong. His strength is very dependent on his mental state at the time. So the more mentally stable he is, the stronger he is. But by and large, while Sentry has destroyed moons and shattered planets and torn holes in the fabric of space and reality, he's literally one-shot Celestials and overpowered Celestials too. His strength has no known upper limit. He's fought against and could beat a team containing Gladiator, Captain Marvel, Beta Ray Bill, and more, then fought against the Avengers with Thor, Captain Marvel, and She-Hulk, and easily beat all of them. Problem is, well, Hulk is basically able to do all the same stuff in large part. Because if
So the thing with Sentry's strength, for me, at least, and you'll see this in my in-depth, is there's a little bit of a caveat with Hulk when he fights Hulk, right? Because if you read their extensive, like, and it's not even extensive. They have a few comics together. But Sentry has an ability to calm down the Hulk. Whether you call it specific to Hulk or an aura hacks in general, up for debate. That works while he's fighting Hulk. So there's a bit of a caveat there. Strength wise, Sentry rumbles in that base Thor Hercules tier consistently. Now, Iron merged was that man was spazzing on Avengers level threats. Entire dreamscapes in his mind. It's different tier power. So that's cool, but then you have Fractured Sun, right? Who's just straight up fighting characters that are supposed to eventually be threats to Boba and Toa, right? Like there's literally a false Toa made in Brother Deep. It gets ridiculous, but we know he didn't read that story. So I digress.
If there's one thing that the Hulk is, well, the Hulk is strong. So strong.
I'll also say this composite Hulk is in another tier of strength than Sentry. That's how bad it is. Like composite Hulk, this would also include Immortal Hulk's ending run where he literally kills everybody in Marvel. Like even Franklin Richards, all of them died, and everyone glazes the shit out of Frankie. Um, it was just him and like one more left. And then you look at Fractured Zone, what he's doing right now. Come on now. Um, yeah, they're not remotely close. He's saying they're close. They're not remotely close.
In fact, there have been several moments where Hulk has been fighting against another
Hulk also just broke the chains of the first firmament. Like, dude, relax.
dude, and each time
We're about to get outdated shit from Danco, so just fair warning.
he's been shaking the entire world with his punches. The whole world.
Oh, dude, Planet. I'm gonna stop. I mean, it's my video. I can do what I want, but I'll try to not pause as much. But he's no problem. He's doing composite for both, and he's hyping up world or planetary feats. Man doesn't know how to scale. He doesn't know how to do versus battles.
Causing earthquakes around the whole world. There have been other times where Hulk is casually smashing entire planets, generating enough power to hold back a planet destroying threat, or is strong enough to support the weight of a whole star.
Again, if these are feats we're using against Sentry, Sentry wouldn't even notice him. Like, why are we listing this shit? This is the god of casuals. That's new Danko's new nickname. The god of casuals.
During his World Breaker phase, well, Hulk was so powerful that, first off, none of the Avengers could even get close to him, much less stop him. And second, he was so powerful that he was threatening to level Manhattan and destroy the entire East Coast with each step that he took. Another time, when he was on Sakaar, the planet was threatening to break apart.
Alright. While he's listing these useless feats for the battle. You guys think he believes like Sakaar Hulk is above Fractured Sun? Like if you popped up on him in a live chat and asked that, I wonder what he'd say. What do y'all think he'd say? Let me know.
Rip right in two. And so Hulk just decided to jump on down there, dive to the center of the planet, and held the planet together. Then another time, while Hulk was back in his World Breaker phase, he was in a whole different dimension, fighting against Red She-Hulk. They were going at it. So much so, Hulk literally destroyed the planet they were on and some of the surrounding moons just from the shockwave of his attack. So literally a world breaker. There's one thing that the big
Hey, we've managed to get Composite Hulk the World Breaker. Planet Plus. Lock in.
guy is known for, strength. He has a ton of it. And Hulk's strength is probably better out of the two. But they really do scale to each other really close.
No, they don't, dude. Fractured Zone would beat the shit out of Sentry. Like he oh man, it'd be so bad, guys. It would be so bad. Like oh my god. It'd be a one punch. Re- Remember when remember when Hulk punched unworthy Thor? And Thor had to sit down and was like, all right, let me sit this one out. Hulk's on some other shit right now. Let me Let me take a breather. Let me take an aspirin, right? Like he was hurting. That's what would happen to Sentry. He would get mollywopped by Hulk. One shot in a power gap between composite Hulk, composite Sentry. It's not fucking close, dude. Best you can get for Sentry is like his fictional transcendence stuff, which is easy to argue for Hulk because he scales to the Stanley Presents with what Ben Grimm did. And so you also on top of that, you can like get Sentry's mentioned like the void comes from an aspect of the white hot room. But then you look at Hulk with his Toba scaling or the one below all scaling, rap skis. Like it's just no, it's a complete power mismatch. But again, that requires reading. Banco is against that. Somebody arrests this guy. They don't scale to each other in the composite.
For all intents and purposes. Like Sentry was able to match up against immortal Hulk, the same Hulk who could flex off Hercules and Jane Foster Thor at the same time, and cracked Thor's skull with just one punch. Well, Sentry could match up against him, but it did take two of Sentry's hands, while Hulk was just throwing one.
What's he doing? Like I said, like if you go read and then you look at Fractured Sun, like the current Hulk and what he did, and then he showed Starship Hulk. Oh my god.
Fist. Then, of course, well, there's the legendary fight at the end of World War Hulk. And if anything, well, I think this fight just demonstrates that Hulk and Sentry are really close to equals in strength, not necessarily that one is definitely stronger.
Keep in mind, look at Sentry, look at man's face. Look at life support McGee right here, right? Absolutely devastated. With that in mind, Hulk later says he was holding back right here. This wasn't even his strongest form. And we know this form's not as strong as Fractured Sun. GG.
Than the other. For starters, well, Hulk is clearly in an amped state. He's angrier than he's ever been before, so he's stronger than he's ever been before.
It's actually because both personalities agree. They're on the same page.
He's just absolutely trashing everyone that tries to stand against him. It's not
He lost a couple times in this run, by the way. Ghost Rider got the drop on him. Doctor Strange had him dead rights until Bruce tricked him.
even close. So just the fact that Sentry can actually fight against him
So, like, objectively, there's characters that did better than Sentry in this run. Like, that's undeniable.
is impressive on Sentry's part. Secondly, well, I think Sentry is a bit weak here. I know it was said that he was going all out.
Hulk also doesn't want to kill Robert. They're friends. There's a natural aura thing as well that we could maybe factor into this. Well, Hulk was also holding back. That's confirmed later. There's no arguing that. So, a weird argument to make.
But Sentry's powers are really, really dependent
And this isn't the strongest showing of Hulk.
on his mental state, and Bob is clearly in a bad mental headspace here. I mean, forget him dealing with the ramifications of Civil War, the death of Captain America, everything like that. Sentry couldn't even bring himself to leave his doorstep for a few days, bring himself to get into the fight. He might have been fighting with everything that he had, but what he had at the moment wasn't his full power. And then Sentry purposely went into the fight trying to calm Hulk down. And Bob knew.
He literally said, "I've never been able to hit something like this." By the way, um, and when this argument he's making, by the way, it would be hinging upon saying this Hulk is the strongest Hulk ever, and this was absolutely the strongest he could get, which is factually incorrect. So
That Hulk needed to let some rage out. And so Sentry just allowed himself to become a punching bag at the start of the fight. But then a switch flipped where Sentry couldn't control his power, and Hulk was the one who needed to put Sentry down. And it ends with both of them just going all out and using up all their power, and Bruce knocks Bob out. Not even Hulk
They don't use all their power. Hulk literally pops right back up when Rick gets shot.
Beating Sentry. Basically, Hulk might be a bit stronger, but Sentry is right up there, and usually the only guy who can hold his own against the Hulk. So then what about durability?
Thor's done it all the time, by the way. So, and Namor's done it. Ben Grimm's done it. This is a composite. I have to constantly remind you guys. And there's forms stronger than what he just showed.
Well, the Sentry is, well, let's just say that the Sentry is insanely durable. Like to the point where he'll openly take punches to the face from World War Hulk just to amp himself up for the fight ahead. And when he decides to stop holding back, most of Marvel's heavy hitters can do absolutely nothing to him.
Ben Grimm shit's non-canon. Source me. By the way, this is what I'm gonna say. The hit, the blast, the punch, the concussive force from Hulk. Because if you didn't know, Immortal or Fractured Sun rather has like conceptual hacks with his attacks, his energy, his essence, what he's hitting you with. It can destroy you on a higher tier, like a higher level. Eldest, who needed the one below all to outright interfere to stop her. Eldest, um, got destroyed. You while he was chained up by the chains of the first firmament, the original eternity of the cosmos, right? Breaks those chains, one shots Eldest to the point she can't physically return anymore, right? And I think that moment, Sentry dies. Erased, completely erased. I mean, he's been dead for years already, but you get my point. Like, erased. For real. It's that big of a gap.
Nukes
And the conceptual erasure shit that clearly his powers come with was gammas, mystic, holy, all that. Yeah, it's rough. With the god flesh and the god power of the one below all. Fractured cooks.
don't even phase him at all. He can survive entering the sun. Thor and his lightning doesn't put him down. You would think that Sentry is almost the unbeatable man. Funny
Keep in mind, Sentry's been dead and lost when he came back. Now a crippled woman. He's lost multiple times too, so he's not unbeatable. It's weird. He repeats the same thing for Sentry every time. Like we just covered a Sentry video. Are you guys seeing this? Like it's lazy as hell.
enough, though, that's not true. In fact, he's been killed more than once. Noel has ripped him in half before, and Thor managed to kill him in Siege. Although, when Donny Cates had Noel kill Sentry, he later admitted that he knew basically nothing about merged Sentry at the time, so maybe we can throw that one out. And during Siege, you
No, because the Void is still a concept with the Sentry. Merged Void or merged Sentry is just him and the Void. So if you still know Sentry and you still know the Void, and the Void is still an aspect of Null, it still counts. Bianco wouldn't know that because he's dumb. Arrest that guy.
You could argue that it wasn't as much Thor straight killing Sentry, but also Sentry fighting against the Void, basically committing suicide, just suicide by Thor. Either way, I'm just trying to talk about Sentry
Void literally popped up and got his shit rocked again by Thor. So, I don't know about that one, Chief.
crazy healing factor. Like Thor splattered his head with Mjolnir. Sentry instantly regrew it. He's flown into the sun and automatically healed from everything. He's had his head blown off and again regrew it. He's even torn his own head in half just to basically show off. Even when Sentry did die at the end of the siege, he didn't actually die for good. His body rebuilt itself atom by atom, and he
By the way, I hated how they just had him return with like all those souls infesting his body. Let me know in the comments if you liked how they did Sentry. I maintain he's one of the biggest victims of bad writing.
came back to life. But what's even more impressive is that Sentry isn't just able to heal from physical wounds, but almost metaphorical ones as well. Like Morgan Le Fay went back in time and killed Sentry, presumably before he.
Yeah, this is verbatim the same script he read off for the last Sentry video. Like we're farming on him for any Danko fan. It's like, yo, you're farming off Danko. I am, bitch. But look at him farming the same script. You all have to watch the same video over and over from him. You're cooked.
Ever even took the serum that transformed him into Sentry, killing him and effectively wiping him from existence.
I explained this, but he exists in a quantum flux. That's why you can't erase him from existence.
And removing him from the timeline. Sentry came back a few moments later. And the Molecule Man, the one guy who's able to match up against the Beyonder.
It's so crazy that he tries to say Molecule Man's the same power level every iteration. That's so crazy, dude.
One of the most powerful beings in all of Marvel, we took Sentry and disintegrated him on a molecular basis several times. And Sentry was able to come back each time, instantly regenerating himself on the molecular level and overcoming Molecule Man. Both Sentry and his darker half, the Void, are literally unkillable. Sentry is quite literally immortal. But Hulk is right up there on par with Sentry in both durability and just straight up unkillability, if that's even a word. Hulk can take countless punches from Hercules, can take an absurd amount of attacks from Thor. We've already seen that he can battle against Sentry, and sometimes, well, Hulk can fight against several of those guys all at once and not go down. He just stood there taking attacks from Thor, and Hercules has hurt his hand punching Hulk. Hulk just refuses to quit.
Keep in mind, at the same time, like Hulk in his current run and stuff, walked through something that was a threat to the nexus of all realities, and Man Thing. Like it would have just one shot. Like that's insane.
And all of these guys are packing
And fight current Thor, by the way.
planetary level strength, too. Probably way more than that if we're being honest. And it's not like Hulk is limited to just that either. He's taken magical energy that was said to be 100 times stronger than Hercules' strongest punch. He's taken energy attacks that can easily destroy planets. If anything ever does injure him, well, Hulk can almost immediately heal from it. Like just in an instant. It's even so much so that a future version of the Hulk, Maestro, implied that he could heal and return to life if he was literally reduced to a fine powder. And as the immortal Hulk, well, Hulk is literally that, immortal. Even if you do manage to kill him, which is dang near impossible, his healing factor is one of the best in comics, while Hulk will just come back from death itself. He's literally unkillable. During Banner of War, well, Hulk took a beating from Iron Man's celestial Hulkbuster that was compared to 100,000 exploding stars, where Iron Man was breaking apart planets and destroying celestial.
God bless Sentry and Hulk fans. Your characters are getting shitted on in this video by Danko. Holy, we got him at Planetary, boys. We got a planetary brawl.
Steel armor as a side effect of the attack, and Hulk remained standing. He can keep on going with body parts removed, instantly healed after his body's completely vaporized. He can fight with his arms missing or gaping holes in his stomach. Hulk is dang near unstoppable. Really, in a lot of ways, you can say that Hulk holds a slight physical edge over Sentry. The problem is, even if Hulk holds the
Slide is crazy, bro. Slide is crazy. He showed Starship Hulk. Y'all saw him. Show him. Which means he has to use modern era. And he said it's composite, which means fractured sun too. Oh my god.
physical edge, well, it's really
Which also includes in 616 what further happens in the future when Immortal Hulk runs rampant.
not by much.
That gives us the fucking answer to this question, by the way.
And Sentry's a ton of other powers at his disposal that he can use. Now, Hulk actually has some powers too now. Like he's getting more and more powerful. He can actually shoot out gamma eye blast or unleash all around gamma bombs.
Oh, he's not gonna. He doesn't know what his actual stuff can do. He doesn't know what Gamma can do. He doesn't know how strong Hulk is now. So he doesn't understand to the extent what his power can actually do now.
They're basically the size of continents. But that's still really nothing compared to the Sentry. Like Sentry's got energy projection and eye blast, but also the
I don't think anyone would argue Sentry technically has more tricks, but current Hulk's way out of his tiering.
ability to manipulate and absorb energy, create energy shields, or trap people in shields of energy. He can unleash energy blasts that can range from hurting Thor and one-shotting Doctor Doom to legitimately tearing holes in space and the barriers between different dimensions. And this energy and darkness has been able to consume Hulk before in the past. Sentry is also one of the world's most powerful telepaths, more powerful than even Emma Frost.
Right. No one gives a fuck if you're more powerful than Emma Frost. I'm gonna be so real with you. So real with you. I get pretty in depth with the. I'm cutting a promo for myself in my upcoming Sentry scaling video. I get really in depth with what exactly he can accomplish with his psychic abilities and to what extent they go. But no one gives a shit about Emma Frost. This is a layup. Emma Frost is not mind hacking fractured sun. I mean, even World War Hulk, Xavier was like, yo, what the fuck is that? Like, no, stop it.
Frost and Professor X with raw telepathy. He's been able to mind wipe the entire planet, force them all to forget about him, including the likes of Xavier and Frost, who at this point in time were the most powerful and the second most powerful minds on the planet. Well, Sentry is actually the true top dog and mind wiped both of them. Mix in the Void, well, the Void has been able to actually straight up trap the Hulk in his own nightmares before. And then one of the biggest thing that Sentry has going for him is his matter molecular manipulation. Sentry actually believes that it's one of the bases for all of his powers. And once Sentry learned that
He did 12 years ago.
he had this power, he instantly defeated Molecule Man. Molecule Man, the guy who was the only match
But does not scale to Molecule at his peak battling Beyonder. Beyonder, who, by the way, was not at his full power either. Oops.
for the Beyonder and could have a multiversal fight. The guy who could destroy the universe and was the source of all of God Doom's powers. Sentry beat him by using molecular manipulation.
Molecule Man is also mentally a bitch, and he got punked in this. If you actually go read it, he was like, "Oh my god, you can manipulate," because he didn't know why Sentry's molecules were different from everything else. It's because they're in a quantum flux. But Molecule Man's a retard, so he doesn't know that, and he got punked. And then he's not as good with his power. It's almost worse than Gladiator. That's why his bitch had to be around him in Secret Wars for him to even be worth a damn. Okay, like it's bad. He's been punked by Beyond, or had to be eventually gassed up several times. Like this is why he sucks. Okay.
And he had just discovered that he even had that power. Sentry has so many win conditions here, it's not even funny. And really, Mr. Fantastic said it best. Sentry is the God Man and the most powerful human being in the universe. At his best, well, his powers are limitless. There's nothing that he cannot do. He's immortal, omnipotent. If it wasn't for his own mental instability holding
If we're going off statements, Fractured Sun was called the one above all's vessel. He was called the one above all, the golden eyes. He had the golden eyes of Toba. Stop.
him back, well, everyone would know that Sentry is the most powerful man on the planet a bajillion times over. Then throw the Void into the mix. Well, the Void is like Hulk's worst nightmare. Consistently able to overpower the Hulk. Literally able to break every single bone in Hulk's body. And Hulk is just straight up stopped trying to fight the Void and now is just legitimately scared of the monster. Or if the Void isn't unleashed, well, Sentry is the only hero that can consistently calm the Hulk down, emitting a special aura of light that just knocks the Hulk out. Hulk's got the physical power, but Sentry has that and even more, and he should be coming out on top here. The Sentry wins.
I mean, I pretty much broke down how he was wrong throughout the video. Really lazy, just a really lazy and take in terms of research and what he presented. Clearly doesn't keep up with Hulk and whatnot. Doesn't really seem to keep up with Sentry either. So that was unfortunate. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I got a Sentry video. Hopefully I'm dropping tomorrow. I've got a collab coming up with Chuck. I got a collab with another special person I haven't announced yet who, but you're gonna be very surprised who it is. Like it's gonna make some noise in terms of being like, oh shit, y'all collabed. But I'm excited and I'm excited to continue with the content on the channel. Join my Discord if you haven't already. Leave the like if you haven't already. And yeah, anyways, it's been your boy Dr. Splash. And remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.